just getting ready to link into live right now. So,
Okay, that's okay. No problem.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody likes watching reels. Big deal. I ain't that
yeah.
big.
Hold on. Okay, now here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. Hold on tight. You're for one crazy ride tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show. #1 on YouTube. Tonight we have with us Scott Scholl. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Good. How did you get started in racing?
Uh, Probably me and my group from back in high school. His dad, that I grew up very close by. He ran at Lernerville, big block modifieds, and always as a kid, pretty much been up around racing. Never decided to jump in a seat until I was about probably in my early 30s. Got given a chance to drive through a friend of mine, through a well-known guy that was establishing the micro sprints in our area, and he opened up a seat in the 600 for me, and I just jumped right in, not knowing what to expect, what to do, and no racing background, no nothing, and just let her rip, and been growing on it for the last 20 years.
Were you when you got in the race car for the first time? Were you the least bit scared at all?
Yeah, to 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 heck and back. Yeah, I was totally scared. And what I learned early on was the fear was what you fight most of the time. But then as you get more experienced, now that I can look back on it now, that fear drives you to be better, and kind of, not have the cannonball aspect that I learned. I have fear, so I never was a daredevil in school, grow anything, and I mean, but I broke a couple bones and did a few stupid things, but I was never a daredevil. But yeah, I've learned to hone and sharpen my fear into a, a a good clean racer in 20 years is the way I look back on it now.
All right. How much success have you had as a race car driver?
Pretty good. Probably my best years were about 10 years ago. I was probably at my peak. And I was running our local track here, Blanket Hill in Catania, Pennsylvania. It unfortunately closed up that 2013, 14-ish season. The promoters kind of gave up on the track financially, and it unfortunately closed. So we were establishing the micros, the 270, two strokes, and the 600s at a track in Deerfield, Ohio, Deerfield Raceway. And I packed my stuff up and hauled out there every weekend and just stayed honed in on getting the 600s grown there. And probably the season after that, which we started in 13 and 14, I had my best package in my car, and best engine package and everything, and ran myself right to a championship. So I was probably about my best.
Very cool. When you win races, how do you celebrate your victories?
You cut out there, Joe. Say that again.
When you win races, how do you celebrate your victories?
Um, Pretty much just in victory lane, and then take it back to the pit. The announcer that we had at Deerfield, he was really good. I can't recall his name, but I can remember his face and how well. And thankfully, I bought all my recorded videos of all my good years there. But pretty much just rode that high from that win to the next week was what we did. And just it was fuel to keep going. And pretty much I just rode it myself, and my my girlfriend at the time was with me, and she pretty much just hung on and loved watching me drive, and um, she just came alive and got to feel the taste of the winds too.
Okay. What's an awesome day at the racetrack look like for you?
Um, Pretty much just the finish. And pretty much not really break anything. I just getting my head wrapped up in the setups and what the track conditions doing, and self motivated to drive to be better and get the car better. So a good day at the track is nailing the setup any day, no matter what position I finish, as long as I finish and cross the checkers at the end of the night. That's a perfect night.
What's an awesome day at the race shop look like for you?
Pretty much just crossing the checkers at the end of the night, and having everybody there that you know supports me. And I don't have a big following. My girlfriend and my daughter and grandsons, and pretty much my racing buddies. We pretty much just hope for the best of a track condition. We fight a lot of weather issues with track conditions, so nailing the setup for each track condition is a perfect, awesome night. And crossing the checkers.
What's an awesome day at the race shop?
Oh, the shop. Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
Not a problem.
Now, so pretty much just being here with some tunes playing, and pretty much just not having too much to fix. It is a perfect day. Just cleaning and maintenance, and having thoughts of how to make the car faster for the next week. And it is a perfect night, which as we all have those busy work weeks, they the race shop nights are very limited. So for race day, but because of work, it ends up being that way. So I kind of ride on the race thrash, I call it, the adrenaline of last minute getting things prepped and loaded, and I actually enjoy that. Believe it or not, as crazy it sounds, but most guys would probably agree that race that you don't feel satisfied until you get it all perfect and everything in line and everything tight, and you have a sequence of doing everything. And at the end of the night, it ends up coming together. Because when you close the door on the back of the trailer, you're ready for Saturday morning to pull out.
Okay. What is the story behind your racing number?
I run the 81. No really significance to me choosing that number. Pretty much it came on my second car. My second car. I'm sorry. My first car was the owner driver opportunity I had. That car number was number 48. And then I branched out of him and went and finally got my first car. So technically it was my second car, and it came with 81 on it. And I just left it on her because she had a pretty set of stickers on it. And the 81 has stuck with me ever since.
Okay. Who do you have for sponsors on your racing team?
This year I had the great company I work for. I do heating and air conditioning, service work. So the company I work for is Armstrong Comfort Solutions in Butler, Pennsylvania. And Katanning, PA. Pretty much had them as the sole sponsor this year. They definitely came in when I needed some help early on with another car that I had that I just got out of this year. It's been a storybook year this year. So they were probably my main contributor this year to get me launched into the 25 season. So other than that, I never really carried a sponsor. I put stickers on my car just to support local businesses. I don't really drive off a sponsorship. If I can't afford to do this myself, which it's getting tougher today, but 10, 15 years ago, I financed it myself. So I felt satisfied not having any letdowns or obligations to make it to the track, because if something happens to the car and it sets me back for a few days and then I can't make the track, then I feel disappointed for the sponsors. So, but this year I nailed it for a whole season for the company I worked for, and we did stupendous. I ended up, I owned 2 cars at one time this season. So this car behind me, I can give you the story on it. So if you're in the story on the car, that it's behind me right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So like I just explained, my 24
You're breaking up there.
season, my 81 car that I had at the beginning of the season that I put together was a 2016 Hyper X6 600 that I dreamed about owning for pretty much my whole race career. I finally got to that point last year at the end of the season, bought a 2016 X6 roller, put it together over the winter into the beginning of this season. Took a sponsor from my company, my very company, and they helped me get everything finished. So I got that car out there, got in it, made about 3 or 4 shows this year in the beginning, and some just didn't seem right in the car. It didn't feel like mine. I did buy it from a local racer that I run with at Blanket Hill, but still, at the end of the day, the car felt like not mine. So I went through this season, and probably about 3/4 of the way through this season, I made a quick decision over one race that I had a guy and his son were racing with me there, that they ended up Dominic Slazinski and DSR team, the number 30S. And I saw what was going on, and I was trying to help them. And then we decided, he was running for the points lead at Blanket Hill. So I just offered up my seat in the 81 to Dom, so he can finish out the night and keep his points. So that kind of grew. And that was honestly, Josh, the first time I put somebody in my seat, in my car, which I came from a humble beginning of driving somebody else's car, never considered to consider an owner, a car owner, to have a driver. So I entailed putting Dom in this car. And that first show I watched my car out on the track, it was amazing. I had such a blast being able to watch my car do and run the setups that we put in it. So this relationship grew this season, about halfway through, with me and Dom's dad, Ed Slazinski. And we ended up making a pact, and we joined teams. So myself and DSR, we ran the 81 for the rest of the season to chase the points lead at Blanket Hill. And I just kept feeding off it and loved it. Well, come to be until beginnings of the end of the season, Dom kind of fell back a little bit, and we struggled for a couple weeks, but we got him up there, and we just we got him. We got out of the points chase. We fell back a couple spots out of the lead, and then we ended up traveling, building our relationship more, and then we come to the agreement that I'm just going to sell him my 81 at the end of the season because that's the car they wanted. So long story short on that, I ended up selling them my X6 Hyper at the end of this year. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there with the part of the money from my car that they gave me. And I bring up my Facebook marketplace. I started looking for cars. I was going to take a break for a year or two, my car, and they were very open-minded about it. And even were going to let me drive it if I wanted to, which was very cool. And one day, out of the blue, across my Facebook marketplace, jumps this car right here for sale, which is my 2014 2010 Predator race car 600 from 2014. I sold it about 12 years ago, and it left Katanning area here, and I had no clue where it went. And I've always told people that when I sold this car, if it ever crosses my path again, I'm going to do whatever it takes to buy it. And sure enough, like out of the strangest situation, I sold the Hyper, and one day this car comes on an ad across my Facebook, and bang, I jumped right on it. I had to work this guy that owned it. He lived in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Super nice guy. He had it for 2-3 years, and he preserved it. And he actually repainted it and rebuilt it and made it beautiful again. Better than when I let it go 10, 12 years ago. And another long story short, here it is sitting with me today. I own my old Predator 2014 championship car. I'm looking forward to next year to go hit it with it and try to chase those checkers again with it. So, and I did get to run this car at our last show at Blanket Hill for our Halloween bash last week. And I had a blast. It was like sitting back in my old self again back in 2014, and pretty much had nothing but an awesome race. Didn't win or finish high up in the in the field, but the top of the night last week at Blanket Hill was Dom was there with my 81 car. He ended up taking a double win last Saturday night at Blanket Hill. He won our feature race, and he won our special race we ran at the end of the night, which was called King of the Hill. And Dom amazingly drove the 81 beautifully, and he won both features. So I literally got to have a blast in my old car while I got to watch him win both those races, Josh. It was amazing. Totals.
Okay. Yeah. So are you still looking for sponsors for your racing team?
I don't think I'm here, Josh. I think I'm going to go back to my old standby of just running myself. Probably no sponsors for next year now.
All right. What is your home racetrack you race on?
It is Blanket Hill Speedway in Katanning, Pennsylvania.
Okay. What is your favorite racetrack you've ever raced on?
That would have to be this year. Back when we took a couple weeks hiatus from Blanket Hill, we ran a track out in central Pennsylvania called Hamlin Speedway, and we ended up taking the 81 there, and were able to enter the same car in 2 different classes. So Dom got to run the 81 in the adult class, and I got to run the 81 in a senior rookie class, and it was a blast. So right now, even over 18, 20 year race career with the Hamilton. It's probably the top of my list right now.
Okay. You kind of froze up there. Okay, there you go. You're better now. Okay. All right. Who's your racing
Yep.
hero?
Uh, I gotta stick with the way I've been, and like it probably Dale Earnhardt Senior is my king
Did you
of
ever
race.
did you ever get to meet Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
I did not, no. Um, I've been to his homeland. I've been all around Charlotte. Been down to the Hall of Fame. Got to touch his car, sit in his cars. I feel like I did, Josh, but no, I never personally met him.
Okay. When you're at the racetrack, are you pretty good about reading the racetrack?
Say that again.
Are you pretty good about reading the racetrack?
Um, I don't really read it. I'll go up and look to see what the texture, yeah, condition is. But I stay by. I don't read the track till I get my butt on the track in the seat. So that's when I kind of do my best reading work after the hot laps.
Oh, okay. Do you like a wet, heavy track, a dry, dusty track, or right in the center?
Right in the center would be perfect for me.
Oh, okay. Do you have a racing page the racing fans can follow you on?
No, I just do my Facebook, my personal Facebook. I might start one
Okay.
this.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So when you're strapped in your race car, getting ready to go on the racetrack, what else gets you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
Um, Visualizing all the guy where my position is. Um, Visualizing everything in the car is going to work right. Um, and the one thing I did learn over all these years, um, if you're too confident going out on the track, I feel that's not a good thing. You got to have a little bit of wonder and a little bit of a lot of bit of butterflies in your stomach. Um, and to go out too confident, high on a horse, I don't feel that that has a good outcome. So I feel
Yeah.
juicing myself up, work a little, what I call worrying, but it gets the butterflies going. That if everything's gonna hold together and work right, and I feed off of that, John.
Okay. Do you have a racing nickname?
Not technically. A buddy of mine actually gave me a nickname years ago when I was running a track out in Somerset, PA. The hauler I ended up having at that time, this would have been back around 2011 or 12. I had a bread truck for a tow vehicle, and I bought it off another friend of mine, and it wasn't in great shape. It was built as a race hauler. It was kind of cool, and my plan was to build it and have like a living quarters in it. So I ended up hauling it for the first time out to Somerset. Well, I broke down on the turnpike, and I blew the water pump alternator belt off the small block Chevy that it had in it, and was pretty much stuck on a turnpike. And I only had like 5 miles to go, and I ended up taking my laces off my boot, and I made my own belt to get the bread truck the rest of the way to the exit. So I was able to get a belt, and he nicknamed me Shoestring right after that. So
Okay.
it's kind of there,
Okay.
but
All right. Do you have any big racing events you're looking forward to racing in next year?
say that again.
Do you have any big racing events you're looking forward to racing in next year?
Probably gonna go after the fall, the fall nationals at Linda's. They hold a national open, which
Yeah.
it took place a few weeks ago, and we were there. Um, but I didn't drive. I was there with the DSR team with the 81. helping them. So pretty much
Okay.
going to shoot for Linda's next year, National Open out in
Okay.
Harrisburg.
Okay. Who's all on your racing crew?
Pretty much you're looking at them. Never really had a big, my wonderful wife, right now, she is the biggest part, that, I rely on, that can be there all the time. So pretty much you're looking at the crew. It's me and
Okay.
Tammy.
All right. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a race car driver?
Um, like I said, I just explained about sitting in the chute in the starting line. Um, if you've got the butterflies, that's good. Keep them, hone them, take that fear and feed off it. You want a little bit of fear going out there on the track. And what I learned is, once you drive yourself to the edge of that fear, once you don't feel afraid anymore racing, um, that's that edge of out of control in the car, um, that I pinpointed. And you want to just get to that point and just cross that line just a little bit and kind of dance with it. And that's when you'll find you'll be at your fastest point, driving a race car.
What kind of advice would you give a new race car driver?
Take it slow. Don't expect, checkers right up front, which, always ends up in a pile up in turn one off the green. Um, pick your car class right. Start somewhere where you're comfortable with, that the people around you can handle. So yeah, sizing yourself to the right race class, to have the most
Okay.
support.
All right. What do you like to do for fun away from the racetrack?
We're getting a choppy connection here, Joe.
What do you like to do for fun away from the racetrack?
Um, Pretty much just travel. I mean, I got a motorhome now, recently, so it's I like to go camping, and we take trips. And now I got two grandsons, so spend a lot of time with them, more than I'd like to, as they're getting older. And used to hunt and fish and stuff, but got out of that because of work lately, and then racing took over. So racing pretty much is my only pastime right now in the last few years.
Okay. Do you have any crazy racing stories you'd like to share with us?
Crazy race stories. Yeah, maybe one quick one. As I told you guys, when I was young, growing up with some guys across the street that their dad raced, um, big block modifieds, back in the day. I always looked up to him. Well, when I was early on in my 600 career, he ended up buying a car, just to come race with us. Me and his son, which is my buddy growing up, and we worked up this car for him, and he thrashed on it, putting it together. Well, we finally made it to the track, and we get out onto the heat race, and I was so excited to be running wheel to wheel with him. I ended up at the drop of the green flag, about 3 or 4 laps in. I ended up driving right up over his left and put him out of the race. And probably one of my craziest race stories that I can remember.
Okay, very cool. So at this portion of the show, Scott, I'd like to turn the mic over to my guest. If you have a couple of questions you'd like to ask me, you can ask me a couple of questions.
Okay. Let's see here. How many races do you go to? In a,
I used to go to quite a few. Okay.
Okay. What's your race class of choice?
I like anything with four wheels and a motor.
Okay, that's pretty broad. Sprint car or fender car?
Anything,
Okay, I can
anything.
nail it down, huh? Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
how about what's your favorite concession stand food at a track?
I like some good nachos with meat.
There,
Definitely.
yep, gotcha. Uh, do you do you have anybody that likes to go to the track with you?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
good.
Yeah.
And do you feel do you get a following going to the track?
Oh, oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I feel very uh enlightened that you contacted me. So I'm definitely going to be a
Yes.
follower of you now.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, Scott, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to have you step out and I will call you a little bit to thank you in person, okay?
Okay, Josh. Been a good time.
Yep, you have a good night, okay?
All right, buddy. Take care.
Yep. Yep, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Scholl on our racing show tonight, talking to us about his racing career. Definitely go hit up Scott Scholl on Facebook if you'd like to learn more about him. But if you'd like to sponsor our racing show or be on a racing show, feel free to call us or text us at 712-209-713, or you can email us at jjnolan151@gmail.com. Have a good night, everybody.